Hi guys, this is Shivareddy. Welcome to the session on Randoop. In this session, we are going to look at what is meant by Randoop and how it is going to be used in the to generate unit test cases for the Java language. Okay, so the first one is Randoop is an automatic unit test case generation for the Java language. It is going to generate the unit test cases using the feedback directed random test generation. That means based on the methods whatever developer has written, and based on the input parameters passed to the methods, the runloop is going to generate the sequence of the unit tests so that it is going to verify the piece of code whatever the developer has written is going to be passed in the under the all the possible scenarios for that particular inputs. So Randoop is going to help the developers to make sure to generate unit test cases automatically. In the case of software development lifecycle, during the development phase, each developer has to write the test case to make sure that the software is going to be works in all the possible user inputs. Hence, it is going to be from the developer point of view, it is going to be a tedious process as they have to return the unit test cases for all the possible scenarios manually. So it is going to be a time-consuming process. Hence, in order to reduce the development cost for writing the test cases, Randoop is going to help you to automatically generate unit test cases for your Java programs. So Randoop is going to take the user inputs, whatever the inputs you are passing to the methods, and it will try to generate unit test cases for all the possible scenarios. Using the Randoop, what you can do is it is going to identify the few bugs which might, while executing the unit test cases, it might find few bugs in your program. And second one is it is going to generate the regression test cases so that these regression test cases will be help you in future if you are doing any change. Then when you run these regression test cases, then you can come to know that if there is any impacting of the new changes on the existing system or not. Hence, using the Randoop, it will uh, help you to run the regression test cases so that you can verify the impact on the existing application. So at a high level, there are two advantages. One is it is going to identify bugs in your program, and second one is it is going to generate the regression test cases, which will be helpful in future whenever you are doing any changes to the application. Then when you run this regression tests, then if everything is fast, there will be no impact. Otherwise, there is a with the new change, there is an impact on the existing system. So now developer has a two chances whether he has to go and verify if the implemented changes are really expected behavior, then they have to generate the regression test cases again using the Randoop. Otherwise, developer has to go to the new change and see why it is breaking the existing functionality, and he has to take the necessary steps. So this is the high level functionality of the Randoop. So now in order to work with the Randoop, what you need to do is first you need to you need to download the Randoop software from this GitHub. So you can download from this URL. You can get the Randoop 3.0.8 version to your first you need to download this Randoop 3.0.8 zip file, and then you need to extract. Once you extract, now you are ready to go ahead and use the Randoop. So I already downloaded the Randoop 3.0.8 version in my computer, and also I extracted this folder to Randoop-3.0.8. So once you have extracted this GIF file, then you can see the format like this. So one, you can see three jar files. Remaining I written to give you a demo on it, but automatically you will see there is a doc folder is going to available. And when you open this index.xml file, it by default it will come with the documentation how to use the Randoop. So if you see this file, from the installation to how to run the Randoop to help you to generate the automatic test case generation, all the documentation you are going to find in the doc folder where you have see index.xml, index.html file. Okay, so first step is once you have unzip this Randoop GIF file, then you will see the three jar files which are responsible to create to automatically generate the test cases. So I am going to explain how we are going to work with the Randoop. Now right click, go to the command prompt, and first we will see how you can get the user-friendly commands to generate the tests. So in order to get the commands, which are used for Randoop, what you need to do is go to open command prompt and type java dash class path, and then you need to give the installation folder for the Randoop, and also you need to specify this Randoop dash all dash 3.0.8.jar, and then you need to identify the main class for this, that is randoop dot main dot main space give help and gen tests, enter. Now it is going to give you all the possible commands which are help you to generate the automatic test cases for this. Okay, so it is going to give you a complete details about it. First one is command, whatever we are used is help command to generate the test. So command is generate test. If you see usage, generate test, and then options, where you are going to invoke this command is at least one class is specified via test class or class list. Now, in order to generate the test cases, you need to have a one particular class where you want to generate the test cases. So this is the option. And then what is the input? One or more names of the classes to test. And output, a JUnit test suite, which is going to give as part of the response. And now, how Randoop is going to execute your code? Randoop execute the code under the test, which no mechanism to protect your system from the harm resulting from the arbitrary code execution. If random execution of your code could have undesirable effects, make sure that executing random in a sandbox machine. Okay, so Randoop is designed to deterministic when the code under test is itself deterministic. This means that two runs of the Randoop will generate the same test. Okay, so this is the basic information about the Randoop. Now, if you scroll little bit down, then you can see the couple of options to run with the to run the automatic to run automatic test case generation. So code under the test. So few commands are there. So before we go ahead with this command, first we need one class class file so that we can generate the unit test cases for that class using Randoop automatically. So what I'm doing here is I have written a small Java program which is going to take here. See, I have written a public class TestingRandoop. In this I have two classes. One is public int sum, int a, int b, and it is going to return the sum of it. And the second method, it is going to return of sum of the three parameters a, b, c. So this is the Java class file. I want Randoop to generate the unit test cases for this class. So in order to do that, what we need to do is first you need to compile this class, and then you need to generate a dot class file. So just in order to make sure that I am going to explain the syntaxes, that is the reason. Now let us consider I am placing this dot class file in the bin folder. Here if you see here bin folder. So this is my starting point where I am going to execute the Randoop command. So now I am opening the command prompt here, and then I am going to explain how to run how to generate the test cases automatically using the Randoop. So in order to execute the test, in order to generate the test case automatically, the command is again Java class path, and then you need to give the bin folder of the classes. In my case, where I have put it is this one. Here I have placed the my classes which I want to generate the unit test cases for the classes, and then you need to give the path for the Randoop installation where Randoop all jar is there, and then the starting point for the Randoop is randoop.main.Main class. Here what we need is we need to generate the tests, and the command is class test class. So test class equal to, we need to give the class file name, uh, Java class name, that is testing randoop. That's all. So it is very simple. First one is the path where your classes which needs to be by using the randoop, where you need to for which classes you need to generate the unit test cases, that you need to pass here. And second one is the where your the Randoop has installed, which contains the jar file, that path, and then randoop.main.Main. This is the class which and then gentest is nothing but we are trying to generate the test for the which class, that is the test class is testing Randoop. Now I am hitting enter. Now what happens here is it is going to load the class and trying to generate all possible all the possible inputs it will try to take and randomly, and it will try to generate the unit test cases for the testing randoop.java class. Now it is going to take the randomly, it is going to take the inputs. That is the reason it is going to generate the lot of huge number of test cases it is going to generate. But if you are you can still go ahead and refine your test case generation using the commands it is by default it is going to provide. But as a initial step, if you give just generate test and if you give the test class name, then Randoop is going to take the default settings of the default settings, and it will try to generate the unit test cases randomly. Once the user input validation completed, then it will show you finally how many test cases it is going to generate for your program. That means generate for your Java program. It is going to take little bit more time to verify all these inputs. Once this completes, you can see that how many test cases it is going to generate automatically. And later we are going to see how we can refine our test cases to make sure that whatever the inputs we want, only for that we can generate the test case also. For example, if you see here, the regression test count is going to be 3527 unit test cases it is trying to generate. Okay, so that is the initial default regression test count is got this much. And if I go to see this output, so these are the output of the result, and in the each file if you see, it will be a huge number of the test cases internally it is going to write regression test. If you see here, almost here 4094 for one class it I have seen like this, like that it has generated many classes, many regression tests. And one more point here is that whenever you Randoop generate the unit test cases, it generates two files. One is regression test and another one is the error test. Regression test is going to be the valid one, and whenever executing the test cases, whenever it is trying to generate the unit test case, if it found some issues, then it is going to generate the error test file. So based on this one, always it will be generate based on the while it is random while Randoop executing the while Randoop generating the automatic test cases, it is possible that it will generate the two types of the files. One is regression test, another one is the error test. So if you see this one, and one more point here is that the Randoop generation test case is not for the readable. If you go and see exactly how it test case it has written, then it does not make any sense to you. But the Randoop will take random feedback based on that, and automatically it will generate the unit test cases. So one thing for sure that the test cases whatever it has generated by the Randoop is not for again analysis and put some things on top of it. Okay, so that is the one point. Now if you see default it has put this many files. Now what you can do, you can go ahead and refine your automatic test case generation using the few options. Now for example, here I am giving input limit equal to 100 and output output limit equal to 100. Now it is going to refine the unit test case generation to only to take those inputs, and based on that it is going to generate the unit test cases. If you see here, now it generated only 47, and that too regression test Java. What it has happened is, if you go and see the regression test 0, you see 0, then it has only 49 test cases it will be there. You see here, see 47 and 49, 47 test cases only. We are limiting the user input, so that is the reason it has given output also with the combinations with less number of the tests it has given. Once again I am deleting all those records so that it will be easy for us to differentiate. Okay, now input and output we have seen the difference. And also one more thing, if you observe, when I'm running this command, by default wherever the directory you are in, it is generating the files there. For example, currently I am in D drive with random randoop dash 3.0 dot slash bin folder. So by default when I am running the Randoop, it is generating the regression test under the bin folder. But if I want in some different folder, then we have one more command, that is junit output direct. You can specify the path of it. For example, I am giving d test. Now what it will do is, one second, what I have given is 100 junit output directory. Yep. Now it seems to be no class with the testing Randoop found on the class path bin. One second, sorry, I think I have removed this bin the class file also. So what I will do is I will copy this class file here. Okay, and then what I am going to do is I am going to run this command again. Now this time the render will generate the unit test cases, and it is going to copy those tests to this D under D drive with the test folder where you can see this regression test.java. Now if I go here, if I see D test, here is the regression test and regression test 0, it is generated. So this is the one helpful. Now suppose If you want to generate a unit test case for the different classes, then how you can do is, here instead of test class, what you can do the command here is that here we have given the test class. This is if you want to test for only one class, then you can give the test class so that it will generate the unit test case for that particular class. But if you want to have a list of classes you want to generate, then class list. Here you need to give the file name. What that file name is, I will tell you. Here, for example, I am giving my class list.txt file. Now, what it is going to expect is in the my class list.txt, you need to specify. If I go to again the bin folder, Randoop bin, and then bin folder. Here, my class list is the text file. If I open this one, what it is going to expect is, it is going to expect the list of classes which needs to be which requires unit test case generation using the Randoop. Here, if you want to specify multiple classes, and similarly you can put like this, testing Randoop 1 or something, 1 2 3. So you can specify how many classes you want to generate the unit test cases. You need to specify in a file, the text file, and you need to give that file name in the class dash dash class list. Now when it generates the unit test cases, it will go to this file, identify what are the classes you specified in this my class list.txt file, and then you can and then it is going to generate the unit test cases. Okay, and then one more option you have. If you see this file, if you see the output, what is test in the random regression test Java, regression test.java and regression testing 0. If you see here, in a single file you will see multiple test case it has included. If you see in a single regression test.java file, it has almost inserted 47 unit test cases, JUnit test cases. But if you want to specify for each file, you need uh, 5 unit tests. Then you can control it by using a one more option we have, that is tests per file equal to, if I say 10, then for each file the regression test file will have 10 unit test cases for class. If you see here regression test 0, that means it is generated total 47, so it has generated total 5 regression test files. So using this test per file, you can tell Randoop generate, you can restrict the unit generation for the particular file with the number. Okay, so that is another parameter, and we have few more helpful commands. I am going to explain that one here. So Java class path d colon Randoop slash Randoop Java Randoop dot main.Main help gen test. It is a single code actually. Okay, so here few other things. For example, now you want to run Randoop, but you don't want any output test needs to be created. Then you can use this command. Which one is don't output tests. If you specify this one, then what happens is Randoop automatically generate the unit test case, but it won't give any output for the output files. And after that, this command is the useful one. Again, test for file. Here you can specify maximum number of the tests to write a each JUnit file. This is the one command, important one. And also you can specify the time limit also. For example, if you say time limit int, maximum number of the second to spend generate the unit test. Because for example, you are trying to run an Randoop with the default settings for a big file, then it may generate thousands or lakhs of the unit test cases. Hence, you can also specify the time limit so that it is going to take the run while generating the unit test cases. Randoop will consider the time limit. Whenever it exceeds, automatically it will terminate that process. And also input limit and output limit. Input limit basically maximum number of the tests generated. By default it is going to be this much. If you don't specify, then default it is going to consider this value. Similarly for the output limit also. And similarly you can use for test classes. If you want to generate only for the particular class, then you need to specify test class, and also make sure that it is a fully qualified name. The fully qualified name of the class under the test you need to specify. Class list, it is a file name where that file name contains list of the classes under the test. Again, those classes must be fully qualified name of it. If you want to generate for methods whatever in the file, then you can have an option method list. You need to specify the file that contains the methods. Okay, and these are the few important options are available while generating the tests for your Java classes. And you can explore more on this more by using this help generate tests option. And if you have any questions, you can still have an conversation. Please feel to comment on my YouTube video so that I will explain more on these options. Hope you are clear with what is Randoop and how to generate automatic unit test cases using the Randoop for the Java programs. And if you have any questions, please comment on my YouTube video. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more technical videos.